everybody, this is Zoe from No Safer Place. And today I'm going to be doing a video that I should have done a very long time ago. Now if you know me and you also know Heather's, my lipstick will probably be a very good idea as to what this video is going to be about. I went to the Heather's sing-along last night and it was absolutely incredible. This was the third time I'd seen the show. I'd seen it once at the other palace and I've seen it twice now at the Royal Haymarket. I've seen Carrie twice as Veronica, and last night I saw Olivia Moore for the first time as Veronica, and she was just amazing. So today I'm going to be doing a little bit of a review of the sing-along. I actually won tickets through Heather's themselves. They hosted a singing competition where you had to upload a version of you singing Candy Store, which I did and I won, and I will leave that at the end of this video if you want to have a look at that and you haven't seen it. So the sing-along was basically, we got given a sheet with where we could sing, in what places, in what songs. It came in the form of this, which I wasn't sure we were getting. I thought that you had to print it off online, and then when we got there, these were provided to us, so I was so happy about it. If you have a look, we joined in Beautiful, Candy Store, Holy Shit, Candy Store, Rig, Fun, I Will Never Shut Up Again, Dead Gay Sun, 17, Westerberg Cheerleader Chant. Shine a Light was also in there, but it wasn't on the cover for some reason, I'm not sure why. But yeah, if we take a look at 17 for example, these are the bits that you can join in, and the rest you just leave to the cast. Now I totally get why they did it that way, because they didn't want too much disruption going on with the cast members, but when you know it's a sing-along, it's incredibly hard not to sing along to the other parts of the song, and I know that quite a few people around me struggled with that as well. So yeah, that's one thing I definitely had a struggle with, but we all stuck to it, so you know, we did what we were told. So I won these tickets and they were in the Royal Circle, and they were actually really good seats. I have only ever been in the stalls, like pretty near to the front, and although it's nice being so close to the stage, you sometimes miss bits or you find yourself looking up all the time, so it can get a little bit painful when you're at the stalls. So it was nice for a change to be at the Royal Circle, to be able to see everything without having to strain or injure myself. So that was really fantastic. Now if you don't know Heather's, I feel like you've probably been living under a rock. Heather's is a 1980s cult classic. And it is basically about this girl who falls into the popular crowd to get through high school. She isn't like them at all, but she pretends because she just wants to get through high school safely. She gets tangled up with this new guy called JD, and he leads her down this very dark path. And it is about suicide, murders, bombs. It is all very dramatic. The second half is so much more dramatic than the first, in my opinion. I think the first half is a lot more light-hearted, and the second half is when we get down to business. What I love about this show is how hilarious it is. I think it's probably my favourite thing I have ever seen at the West End. I mean, obviously it is. I've seen it 3 times. I'm a huge musical goer. Most of the things I see at the theatre are musicals, so I'd watched the film once before I'd seen this show, and I'll be honest, I didn't really like the film that much. I was really skeptical after watching it, and I'd only booked tickets to the show because I'd never seen Carrie Hope Fletcher perform before, so I really wanted to see her live. And I remember coming out of that first time just thinking, wow, this is the best thing I've ever seen. And I think what contributed to that was Jamie Moscato. Now, Jamie Moscato plays JD. When I watched Heather's, JD was not really on my radar. I didn't really care about him as a character. I didn't really connect to him. I didn't see what all the hype was about. So when I went to see it and I saw him and heard him live, I was completely blown away. And let me just tell you, every time I see Jamie Moscato, he gets better every time. I feel like last night was the best I have ever seen him. He seemed to be in his element last night with the sing-along. Like, seriously, he seemed to really enjoy it. I should have written notes and put this like in some kind of chronological order, but honestly I'm just like giving you whatever my brain is thinking at that current moment in time, so this may be a bit out of sorts. But yeah, I got there about half an hour early to the show. As always, they had the 80s music going. The atmosphere in there was absolutely electric. I have never ever felt anything like it in my life. It was just sensational. I couldn't believe that I was a part of this thing because it was amazing. And then someone came out and introduced it and gave us a few house rules. And then we had a vocal warm-up with Simone, and she's the person that warms up the cast normally. And a curtain ram came out and they had their own little segment, which I thought was really, really funny, helped us get warmed up. I wish we could have filmed that bit because it was so good. Jamie posted a video on his Instagram, but I mean, by the time this goes up, that will probably be gone. Yeah, then it started, the house lights went up whenever we had a bit to sing along to. Obviously, there were a few glitches with that because this was the first time they'd ever done it. There was no dress rehearsal or anything, so there was a few parts that the lights didn't go up, but I'll be honest, you could kind of see what you were supposed to be singing anyway, and if you're like me and knew all the words, you didn't really need the song sheet anyway. But yeah, the atmosphere was electric. I have never heard anything so loud. Like, it was even louder than a concert. It was just that good. So let's talk a little bit about Olivia more. Now, I'd seen Olivia before, obviously, in her usual role, and I absolutely loved her. So when I got there last night and saw that Carrie was still ill, get well soon Carrie, and that Olivia was playing Veronica, I was so excited. Now, I understand that if you hadn't seen the show before and you really had your heart set on seeing Carrie play Veronica, I can understand why you'd be a little bit sad, because I already had the luxury of seeing Carrie play her twice. So for me, seeing Olivia play her was such a treat for me. I was so used to seeing Carrie play her, and to see what Olivia brought to the role and just to hear how fantastic she was and just see her having her time to shine, it was amazing. My thoughts on Olivia were she absolutely smashed it. If you didn't know that she was an understudy, you would have just thought that she played Veronica all the time. If I hadn't previously seen Carrie, I would have thought it was like perfect. But obviously you are going to compare the two if you've seen them both. And there were some parts that I preferred Olivia and some parts that I preferred Carrie. In terms of being funny, I definitely preferred Carrie. I think she has this real natural humour about her. I just think she's absolutely hilarious. But there was one song in particular, I Say No, which I really loved Olivia. I'd even go to say as I preferred her in that song. I Say No is such an iconic song, what with it being so new and original to the West End, and she just absolutely smashed it. She was so good. But yeah, I definitely adored Olivia. I would love to see her play it again. I'm hoping to go and see it one more time before it ends, but I'm assuming Carrie will be back by then. Let's talk some more about Jamie. Another thing is, I'd heard Meant to Be Yours before I'd seen the show for the first time, and I didn't really like it. It wasn't a song I connected with at all. And when I heard Jamie sing it for the first time, it instantly became my favourite song on the soundtrack. I cannot put into words how much I adore that guy. He literally speaks to my soul. He is so talented. I feel like I've watched a few performances of past JDs, and to me, they don't seem like damaged children. Like let's be honest, at the end of the day, JD is supposed to be in school. He is still supposed to be a child, and I've never really got that damaged kid vibe from anyone else. I feel like Jamie captures it perfectly. You just feel so sorry for him. Like, I just don't see how you could possibly hate him, because my heart went out to him completely, and every time I've seen him, he's just got better and better. Again, Freeze Your Brain, I wasn't really a big fan of before I saw the show, but Jamie brings so much to the character of JD. I don't think there is anyone that I will ever see that will be as fantastic as Jamie. I'm definitely going to be following his musical career now, because I need to see more of this guy. I'm actually going to see him at the West End Does Christmas concert in December, so I'm so excited to see him performing some normal songs. As always, Jodie is such a huge part of the show. She brings so much to the role of Heather Chandler. Her voice is like nothing I have ever heard. Her sarcasm, her wit, everything about her performance as Heather Chandler is just incredible. She is literally the definition of a mythic bitch. And another person that the more I've seen, the more I've liked her performance. Actually, the other two Heathers, Heather Duke and Heather McNamara, both of them, the more I've seen them, the more I enjoy them. It really took me a while to warm up to McNamara, but now she is possibly my favourite Heather. I just think Lifeboat is one of the most gorgeous songs and one that we can all relate to, and she just does it so beautifully. I don't know how I ever didn't like her. Now, another person that I speak about all the time and absolutely love is Dominic Anderson. He plays Ram Sweeney, and Ram Sweeney, when I first saw it, was my favourite character. He is who I dressed up as last night because I am obsessed with this guy. He is absolutely hilarious. Even though he's a huge dick, he basically just does whatever he can to get with girls. I mean, he is really not a very nice character, but it is so hard not to like Kurt and Ram because they are literally one of the best parts of the show. They are absolutely fantastic. Now, I said this was a review, but I'm not actually really reviewing it. I'm just talking about my favourite parts and what I liked and what I didn't like and what I thought could have been better. And yeah, I just have so many thoughts on Heathers. It's hard just to put into like a 15-20 minute video. It's just impossible. Also, another thing about last night is that whenever I've been, Miss Fleming has always been played by Becky Locke, and she left last week, and Amy Booth Steele, I think she's called, she is the new Miss Fleming. I really loved Becky and I was very dubious and skeptical. I shouldn't have been. She was literally amazing. I think this may have been her second show. It was definitely an early show, and she was just wow. The Steve and the affair bit, I literally preferred her doing it than Becky because it was just iconic. She really dragged it out. She really made the audience member feel so awkward, and I was just living for that. I feel like I don't really need to go into the story too much because you probably already know it, and if you don't, it's really easy to find out. And I feel like talking about the choreography and the staging, I mean, do you guys want to hear about that? I can make another video about that if you want, but I just feel like you'd rather know about the characters and the actors that are playing them and how well it comes across and what songs are the best. Meant to Be Yours is definitely 100% my favourite song in the show. I feel like I change into a different person when I hear Jamie sing that song. It literally transports me to another place. I feel like when I'm listening to it, I may be turning into a psychopath too. I Say No is another one of my favourites, which I mentioned earlier. And obviously Candy Store is so iconic. How can you not love that song? I sang it so much last night that my throat is like killing me. One of my favourite moments from the sing-along was actually in the interval. They played Take On Me, as in the 80s song by a-ha, and literally every single person in that theatre sang that chorus. And I wish I'd filmed it because it was one of those moments that makes you feel quite emotional. I don't know why, but when everyone joins in with something, it actually makes me cry because I feel like, oh my god, this is so amazing, so many people doing the same thing at the same time. So that was like such a great moment. I'll be honest, apart from the atmosphere being like massively electric last night and the odd here and there joining in singing, because I'll be honest, there wasn't really that much to join in with. I thought there would be a lot more. It didn't really make that much difference to the show, and I think that's what they were going for, just having a load of Heather fans in one room and just sharing those moments, but it not taking over the entire show. And I think they captured that element really well. They did say at the beginning that because it's staged so precisely, they couldn't have everyone singing along with everything because it would be too distracting for the cast members, which I totally got. In terms of the loudest, I actually think the loudest sing-along was 17. I only got to sing a very small portion of that song, but it was so loud when everyone sang that. And then the one that people got the most involved with and was the most fun was definitely Dead Gay Son. I just wish we could have recorded some of it because that one, everyone was on their feet, everyone was clapping and cheering and dancing and singing. It was iconic. And then the bit that made me cry the most was the ending, when they had all just bowed, and if you haven't seen it, at the end they do like fist pumps and they're singing beautiful, beautiful, beautiful over and over, and every single person was on their feet fist pumping, singing back to the cast, and what a time to be alive that was. It was literally my favourite moment in a production that I've ever been in. Like, normally that part makes me emotional, but every single person on their feet fist pumping, like, wow. I wish I had written notes down because I feel like I've missed off so much. But then looking at the time, I've been filming for 25 minutes, so maybe I've just been speaking too long. So yeah, I will leave me singing Candy Store at the end of this video, so if you want to watch that you can, if you don't you can just skip it and switch off. I just want to say a massive thank you to Heathers for giving me the tickets last night. I had the best time and I was living my best life, and it was just the best night ever, bar none. Like, even my wedding, guys. The whole cast are... I just can't even put into words how much I love this entire cast. Like, every single person on that stage, I just love. I wish it had finished like 20 minutes earlier because I had to get the last train home and I didn't get home till past midnight, but I really wanted to meet them and I didn't get the chance to. So that's how I feel like I can justify another trip, because I need to meet the cast, right? I need to meet Jamie Moscato mostly and just tell him how flippin' iconic he is as JD. And Olivia, if you're watching this, you were incredible as Veronica, and I just can't wait to see what they all do next. I really thought they were going to announce the cast recording after the show yesterday, but alas, they did not. I'm still waiting for it because I need that in my life ASAP. Yeah, I'll also include some photos of me at the end. I mean, my husband is awful at taking photos, so they're not exactly great. But I did take a few last night, so I hope you all have enjoyed this video. Let me know what you would like to see more of on my channel, and I hope to see you all again soon. Thank you. Bye.
Looking hot, buying stuff they cannot. Drinking hard, maxing dad's credit card. Skipping gym, scaring her, screwing him. Killer clothes, kicking nerds in the nose. If you lack the balls, you can go play dolls. Let your mommy fix you a snack. Or you could come smoke, pound some rum and coke in my Porsche with the quarterback. Whoa, whoa, honey, what you waiting for? Welcome to my candy store. Time for you to prove you're not a loser anymore. Come step into my candy store.